So I'm gonna click record. Yeah, man, like I have this desktop right here that I was trying to use it on. First off, I used FaceTime yesterday to record a kid I trained. So
Yeah.
And I didn't even check till like last night, and it was silent, nothing, like no audio. Yeah, so we talked for like 30 minutes, and I'm just like, damn. And so I got to redo that interview with him. And then my plan is so I'm going to record it, put it on YouTube, and then strip the audio and then put it to the podcast.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
I have both. And I'm just like right now, like I said, everyone's like talking to each other, and so basically what I'm going to do is just like, obviously I want you to tell your story, and then we'll just chop it up, bro. That's really what it is. And so, but how you been doing though otherwise?
I've been good. I'm in North Carolina right now. We got out of New York just because it's getting hectic up there.
Yeah.
I flew back from Jamaica, and then everything got crazy. So 2 weeks later, we just drove down here to stay with my girl's sisters for a while.
Sheesh. That's crazy. How was Jamaica?
It was great. I got to visit like the other side of my family that I don't ever see. So it was great. And then we got to go by the ocean for the last couple of days. So it was really fun to be out there with my father and stuff.
Word. But yeah, man. So, we'll just get right into it. Like, obviously we met through Alex. But I just want to know your story. Like, just talk about, where you came from, where your love for basketball came from, your experiences with it. And then obviously I got some questions I want to ask, but, obviously I can just go off what you talk about, you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, for sure. So I was born in Far Rockaway, Queens, New York, and I pretty much was raised in the city until I was like 10. And I played football in my younger days. And then when I moved to Kingston, New York, which is like an hour and a half away from the city up north, I started playing basketball then. And basketball was kind of like a safe haven for me because we had a Boys and Girls Club literally like right around the corner from my house. And I grew up in a single family household where it was just me and now there's 8 of us, but it was me. I was the oldest of, I think it was like 5 at the time when I was home. So, it was six at the time when I was home. So it was kind of a way for me to just clear my head at first. And then I just kind of fell in love with it because it was a safe haven for me to be on the court. And then I made a bunch of friends playing. So it was just a cool thing to do because everyone else was doing it. And then I kind of just fell in love with it for that reason.
Word. Nah, that's what it is for a lot of people. Like in my podcast, I talked about how basketball was for me was like you said, like a safe haven, was a getaway for me. Middle school was really kind of rough where I got bullied a little bit. And then, basketball was kind of like my getaway. And then the kids saw me play basketball, saw I was good, and they stopped, So it was just like, it was something that brought joy to me too. So, where'd you, I guess, what was your career like in terms of playing? Did you play? And then, to where you are now. So I know you're a trainer like myself. So, just go from where you took the game from, using it as a getaway, maybe playing to the highest level of your ability, and then obviously beyond to where you are now.
Yeah. So, obviously every kid's younger dream is to play college basketball. So unfortunately for me, my senior year of high school, I was diagnosed with an enlarged heart. And it's not really like anything that I'm affected by, but that same year that I was diagnosed with an enlarged heart, another kid actually in New York City passed away from it. So like that kind of threw up a red flag for all college coaches that was recruiting me or I had offers from. So they all kind of got taken away because I technically couldn't pass any physicals that year. So when I decided to go to a SUNY school and kind of started being a student assistant coach, like I always knew I wanted to coach. Eventually I knew the ball was going to stop. I knew I didn't want to play professionally. I knew like that wasn't my ability. So I always wanted to coach. But once I got into like coaching, I realized how much of a business it is. And I kind of like training better
Yeah.
because it's more personalized and it's more one-on-one. So that was something that I got into in my first year of college.
Okay. And then so now where are you at? I know you train a lot of kids. So what's the program you got going, and you
Mhm.
know what it is? Just basically tell us what it is.
So right now I own Lionheart Basketball. It's just a name we use. We run academies right now for Boys and Girls Club in Kingston and Saugerties. So basically our academies are just like 8-week programs. We call them academies because we kind of progress every week, and it's kind of a way for kids to learn like basic fundamentals of basketballs. And this was our first year we did a winter academy for like younger kids. I think our ages were like 8-year-olds. But we've been running the summer academies this would be our third year. Hopefully it happens this summer if everything is shut down still, but it'll be our third year. And I chose to do it through the Boys and Girls Club because it was somewhere I grew up and it was a safe haven for me. So I donate a large portion of the money we make there back to the Boys and Girls Club, and they use it in various ways, like to either like put new doors on the gym or feed the community, stuff like that. So it was a great way for me to give back to the community with that. But I do a lot of individuals also with players around the area and stuff like that.
Word. Yo, that's huge, man. Like that's why it's great, like how we met, we've been blessed to be linked with some of the best top trainers in the game, and they keep good people in their circle. And just like you said, I'm training now. Like I think I'm a good coach too. But it's like you said, it's more of a business side, and like it's about getting kids through, and it's difficult to actually show that you care,
Yeah.
without putting your job in jeopardy. So it's just difficult, but that's why this training game, I think, it's really good, and for the people that are in it for the right reason.
Mhm.
And then obviously, like, you're in it for the right reason, I'm in it for the right reason. And we actually care about the kids we work with, and it's just not like a paycheck to paycheck thing, or it's
Yeah.
not about the money. Um, and we actually want to see them develop and teach them skills outside of just basketball.
Mhm.
So that's why I think, like, it's really good to talk to somebody like of our caliber, and just to tell your story and tell my story. And but yeah, so it's crazy right now. So, like, what are you doing to, I guess, help your guys now with this COVID-19?
So past couple of weeks, I've just been texting them and checking in on them. A lot of our players are still in school, so they're doing a lot of schoolwork. So if there's any way I'm well connected in the school in my area. So if there's any way I can like send a tutor their way or anything like that, I try to help out that way. So that's pretty much what we're doing now. But in a couple of days, we plan on launching like a Zoom workout kind of thing. I haven't gotten a chance to really all the details in, but that's what we're working on now. I actually haven't touched a basketball in like over a month because I was away for 3 weeks in Jamaica, and then we came down here. So I haven't been inside the gym, touched the basketball in a long time. So
Sheesh.
I'm excited to like get back and give back to the community that way. So we're working on details of doing that right now. And I've just been watching a lot of film and studying as much as I can.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, yeah, it's tough. Like, I'm actually starting Zoom classes next week too. Um, our other boy Dave Lamb,
Yeah.
he just started his this week. I see Tyler Ralph does IG Live.
Hmm.
It's just, obviously at the same time we're trying to help and put out content, but then we also gotta obviously put food on the plate too. So
Yeah.
it just this is like unheard of. So, like, this kind of put a hitch on 2020 for everybody.
Yeah.
But basically, so how did you start Lionheart? Oh, my internet connections acting up. How'd you start Lionheart? Like, was it just one day you decided it, or like you sat down with your friends and like it came up in conversation, and the idea came up? Like, so kind of go behind with the creation.
Yeah, so when I was at Delhi, I started just working with some of the players like individually, and I noticed that that's kind of what I like doing. doing individuals and working and building relationships with the players one-on-one and stuff like that. So like I just decided kind of just one day just decided like this is what I wanted it to be, and this is I like lions and I enjoy I like the love of the game, so I decided to put the word lion and heart together, and then I love basketball, so I put basketball at the end. So that's kind of how the name came about, and then from there we kind of just used it as a brand behind like Pro the Trainer or Rohan and stuff like that to like workout players, so they knew that like I was a trainer but also for basketball. So that's kind of like the umbrella I work under.
Got it. Yeah, no, that's huge, because I was just like for me when I started my business, it was just like so a long time ago, my best friend showed me this motivational clip on YouTube back in like 2010 or something. This is Eric Thomas, like right. This is before he was like huge, and that one of his most famous speeches like was with the football player or whatever. I forgot. They had that football.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, so one of the lines was just like, "There are no days off," and so when I heard that, something clicked for me, and I was like, "Yo, this is a phrase that I like." So I would use it, say it, and then it wasn't until like after I graduated college, I was like, maybe I wanted to always have my own business eventually. Graduating with a finance degree, and so it's kind of like I was like, why not I just make No Days Off Training LLC? And so it's just that's why I wanted to like get your inception story with the business, because it's interesting how those things come about. Now, obviously you answered that, but so like, what are your goals like long term? What do you want? Do you want to keep training with your own business? Do you have an end goal? Do you want to eventually get back into coaching? Do you want to, what's your vision for yourself?
Well, I want to continue to train as much as I can. I plan on hopefully putting academies in different areas that I can see I can help out. So I pretty much look for communities that I could put an academy in, and I can donate the money back to either a school or a rec center that can help that community and inspire kids in that community to do things with themselves that's positive. But I eventually want to. So my biggest goal is probably do that, and also like invest in real estate, just so I can like maneuver around the country a little bit better.
No, for sure. Yeah, no, real estate, that's a good thing. Obviously, this is a good time. Like I've been like on my podcast, the last 2 episodes I kind of like talked about, during this time, this isolation time, like obviously you want to talk to people, but also you're closer with family and friends, but you also want to be closer to yourself, right? So you want to get in contact with like things that you haven't done in a while that you used to have joy in, or educate yourself, read more. And that's something like I've been doing. I've been looking for free online classes just to like, keep my mind.
So I just finished, or I'm like on the last session of a class where once I'm done with it, I'd be able to apply for like grants to get my first home. So I'm hoping that once I'm done with it, before the start of next year, because obviously everything that's going on now, before the start of next year, I'll be able to like move into my first home. So I'm excited about that.
Oh man, congrats! Good luck to that.
Thank you.
So no, it's like I said, it's just like this is an important time for everybody. Like not to feel so I guess claustrophobic that you can't do stuff, like just because you can't go outside as much, or you can't do the things you're normally used to doing. There's other things you can do to expand your mind, your physical body, spiritually, whatever you feel that you can use the time. And it's important to use this to help yourself. And so that's why like I think for me, like I like training too, but I also like the mindfulness aspect to it. It was just like being mentally tough, being positive. Those are things that like a lot of people don't really. I mean, it's getting popular now because we have some high, celebrities that talk about it all the time. But for people that like myself, I've always been that way. So being around like a community and stuff, I don't see it as much. So like I'm trying to be that voice of positivity, reason, motivation to help, you know, kids in the area. And then obviously the athletes I help with to stay the course, not to lose faith, and things are going to work out. So last thing I want to ask you. So if you can tell yourself a couple things when you were younger, you know, what would they be in terms of just like, and it's not just basketball, but just like things related to life?
Yeah, I'd probably say be your true self. Don't try to be perfect. Would definitely be something I would say. I would say read more. Uh, and when things get hard, there's always something better on the other side. It's probably a couple of things I would tell myself.
That's good. Yeah, no, that's huge. That's I mean, those are words I probably would take heed to too. It's just crazy how like we go through life and this is like we learn so much, and then you know, I think kids players are lucky enough to have you know, people such as ourselves, like not saying like we're you know, anything special, but like we've had our trials and tribulations, we've had our ups and downs, and we understand the process and the grind it takes to get to where they want to get to, in the mindset it takes. And I think that's something that I really think, I hope, you know, the players, you know, really appreciate in the long run. So, so yeah, so I got a couple fun questions. So, who's the best player you've been in the gym with in a workout?
Ooh, I would have to go woman player. I would have to go Candace Parker. Male player, I would have to probably go. I guess Kyrie Irving would have to be male player, best male player that I've been in the gym with.
Damn, that's tough. Like,
yeah.
So where'd you help out with Candace?
When I was in LA, actually around this time last summer with Alex also, she came to work out a couple of times, and then Kyrie, same thing. When I came back from LA, I helped him out with Kyrie. I think it was in June at the same place at the NBA PA.
That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah.
I know we were together working with Melo. How was the Kyrie workout?
It was great. That's kind of like I've only been starstruck a couple of times, and Candace and Kyrie were probably the two times that I was starstruck for sure. Kyrie was super focused the whole time, and he's the same way he acts on social media is kind of the same way he acts in person, like super down to earth, super humble. Doesn't really talk a lot. Like he'll talk shit to himself probably, but he doesn't really like talk a lot. And the way he like kind of works out is the same way he plays in games.
Yeah, how about Candace Parker? Like she was one of my like childhood like crushes. Watching her hoop,
Yeah.
it was like, yeah. How was she?
She's super nice and super funny actually. She kind of like when she messes up or something, like she kind of makes a joke about it that kind of makes you laugh. And when I met her, like she like shook our hand and was like, "Yeah, I'm Candace Parker," and I was like, "I know who you are. Like you don't have to introduce yourself." So it's kind of funny that she's kind of down to earth in that way.
Word. So, and then let's say, so what trainers have you like collabed with? Besides, I mean, obviously Alex is one of the main ones, but have you collabed with any like top-notch trainer around?
No, actually, Alex is probably the only one that's given me an opportunity. Actually, he's the only one that he actually reached out to me first, to come and help him out. So he's the only one that I've collabed with, and we stay in contact quite often. I try to text him every month or so, and so he's someone that I really give major props to for helping me out, and I enjoy working with him a lot. I've reached out to a bunch of trainers to come and watch workouts, and they haven't gotten back to me, and Alex was the only one that kind of gave me an opportunity. So I pretty much like appreciate him so much for doing that for me.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's the same way with me and DJ. I work with him, so but it's the same thing. I reached out to him though, and then he actually responded to me. So for me, it was just like that was your luck of the draw, my luck of the draw. He actually responded, and I was able to meet him in person and talk and stuff. So, and let's say, what about, so what are things that you like to do outside of basketball, in terms of hobbies?
Yeah, so I like reading a lot. Right now I'm reading Atomic Habits actually have it right here, by James Clear. It's a great book. I've always wanted to read it, and I was reading Shoe Dog back at home, and I left it at home. So when I was down here, I saw that book in Target. I picked it up. Um, and besides reading, I actually enjoy fishing like a lot. When I'm in Boston with my dad, we go fishing, and down here we went fishing a couple of times. So I enjoy fishing a lot.
Word, word. And then let's go NBA. So who'd you have winning before all this whole thing went down? Who's your favorite team, favorite player? Let's go. Let's get through all that. What's up?
So I had the Lakers winning just because LeBron was playing on a whole another level, I believe, this year. So I had the Lakers winning. My favorite player is Kevin Durant. Just like the way he scores the ball like so effortlessly. And he's pretty much like a 7-foot guard. So I enjoy watching him play. And Damian Lillard's also like one of my favorite players. I was on him before he left Weaver State, and no one was like listening to me. And I was like, this kid's gonna be great. And no one listened to me. So he's proven everyone that said I was lying wrong. My favorite team is the Boston Celtics, just because when I started playing basketball, they were kind of the team that was like winning championships. And I enjoyed watching Rondo play. I kind of modeled my game a lot after him. So that was my favorite team.
Heard. Like that. Now, I mean, what do you like? Do you like professional basketball better? Do you like, or you like the college game? Which one do you prefer? And
I enjoy breaking down NBA games and watching NBA games like just by myself. But if I'm looking for like a good atmosphere, I enjoy college games a lot. I like the atmosphere of most college games.
okay, yeah, no, like I agree with that. Like you can't beat that college experience in terms of just like the crowds and cheering. And that's like for basically all sports. I think at the professional level, the closest to like a huge experience would probably be the NFL or the playoffs for any professional sport. Is when it really gets, intense. I think college wise, every home game for college is pretty packed.
Yep.
And so you get all those fans and stuff. So, and then what's the last question I wanted to ask? It was involved. Oh, so here, yeah. So this just broke yesterday. What are your thoughts about Jalen Green and Isaiah Todd? This whole skipping college, going to the G League. What's your thoughts on that?
I think that's a great move for the G League and a great move for both of them, just because like the NCAA has been making a lot of money off the back of these kids, and obviously they say you can't pay them for their likeness, and they're not trying to give these kids money. But if their ultimate dream is to go and play in the league, and there's a way that you can go and feed your family, and maybe you're not in the league as of yet, but you're one step away, and it's not going through college, and also in the package they still had like a full ride scholarship to I don't know if it was any college of their choice. So it's not like they can't go back and get their education. So I think it was a great move by both of them. I'm hoping more top players take that route if that's what they plan on doing, if the NBA is their dream.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I just saw it. It was just something I was just like astounded with, like the amount of money he's going to make. And then the part of the package is, like you said, getting that full ride. It was like $125,000 I guess in scholarship money for a school to get an education. And most of these players that go to the one and done route eventually use the money and go back to school regardless.
Yeah, that's what I always tell people. Everyone says, well, these kids should get their education. I'm like, it's not like first of all, after they go to the league, they can go to any school they want, arguably, you know what I mean? It's not like they can't afford to go to any school, and it's not like they can't go back and get their education. They can get their education anytime they want. The schools aren't going anywhere, you know what I mean? It's not like once you leave, you can't go back and play college basketball, but it's not like you can't attend that university and finish your degree.
Yeah, so I say the same thing. It's just like there's got to be that open mind, and I don't think everybody sees it that way. And then so and we'll go off on that. Just like, do you think with all this going on? So like with Melo, he went to Australia. RJ Hampton went to Australia. And then now you got Jalen Green, Isaiah Todd, like two of the top players of the class. Like, what do you think? Do you think what do you think? I mean, I have my own opinion, but what do you think the NCAA should do? Or do you think are they in trouble? Do you think they're in trouble?
I don't think they're in trouble because there's going to be players that need 4 years of college, like the Marcus Howards and the OB Toppin that need the 4 years, and the Miles Powell that will go still for 4 years, and they'll still like play well, and they'll still have that college atmosphere, because there's people that go to college and still like hype it up. You know what I mean? There's still going to be money there, but I just don't. I think like a lot of people have the argument that the one and dones, or the people that leave kind of too early, that they should stay another year to get developed. And I think that there's no better place to get developed than the NBA. You know what I mean? Your goal is to play in the NBA. Why not leave? Even if you think you left a year too early, you still leave and you're still playing with grown men. You know what I mean? So there's no better way to get developed than the G League, essentially, at this point, or the NBA. So I don't think the NCAA is in trouble where they're going to be hit too hard. I think there's still going to be players that go and still going to need the 4 years to make draft boards. Right.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing too. It's just like, it's hard because like with college, there's that, this is where I always debate it. It's like, if you're like a high major player, right, your goal is to, I mean, I think most players at a high major level, they want to get to the NBA, right? Mm-hmm. So like with college, it's hard because you got classes to balance. There's a little bit of a distraction with that. And then obviously there's the outside activities that every, college kid wants to be a part of. But then you have the aspect of, if you have that option to go, like you said, you want to get to the NBA, you're out, you're playing against grown men, you have the resources, you have an agent that's supposed to help you schedule those things. And so it's just like, it's hard.
I think the biggest people that are going to take a hit to begin with are going to be like the Kentuckys and the Dukes, because those are the people that get the one and dones. So those are the players that aren't going to elect to go to college. They're just going to go straight to the league. But then eventually it's going to trickle down to the mid-major, and mid-major players are going to end up going to Duke and Kentucky and playing for 4 years.
Yeah, I literally was actually talking about that to one of my players. He was just like, he thinks that that's what's going to happen. And like somebody like him, because his dream when I was training him, he was just like, yo, I need to go D1. And I was like, no, it's about getting a free education and being able to hoop at the next level. So he's at a D3 right now, but he's going to leave with like no student debt. So, at the end of the day, I think I did my job, because I have student loans I got to pay back, and I went Division I. I was a walk-on turned scholarship. So it's just like, you want to put yourself in a situation for your future. And, and he's got a good head on his shoulders, but he was saying like, if this was implemented earlier, he probably would have had a higher shot to get like a low major, interest or a scholarship level. Like, even so, some D2 guys might go up to that low major, or, and then low majors go to mid go to high, kind of thing. So it's, it's going to be, I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of years with this. Just the other thing is like, Jalen Green's the number one pick, or number one player of the class. So that's why it's also pretty big, So, but other than that, that's all the questions I really got. Is there anything you got on your mind, or like, you want to talk about?
No, I thought this was great. I enjoyed the conversation for sure.
Yeah, man. We definitely we'll stay in touch for sure. Obviously, hopefully when this is done, we can collab too on doing some stuff.
Sure.
I definitely wouldn't mind taking the trip up there for like a 2-day camp or something like that. And then also like you come down here and, come work with DJ with us. Like I'll bring
for sure.
And then, man, so I think that's why it's important. I also want people to know your story as a player, as a trainer, and, your why, so they can, maybe there's kids out there that, want to try to play, but like the training game, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Exactly.
you know, so it's just like being able to provide stories where kids can see different views, different aspects, and make a decision for themselves.
Mm.
So, yeah. So hopefully this records. All right.
Yes.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna hopefully put this on YouTube. Then I'm gonna rip it, put it on the podcast, and then yeah. So I'll tell you when it's done, and then obviously we'll keep in contact, bro.
Yep. Thanks for having me on, man.
All right, no problem. Stay safe and keep grinding, bro.
Yep. You too. Thank you.
All right, no doubt.